Hey, happy, beautiful, amazing day. Dr. Bob Rakowski here out of Houston, Texas. Over the course of the next 5 minutes, I'm going to share with you a phenomenal new brain technology and brain nutrition strategy to help you to create your best brain. Little background on me. I've been in clinical practice now 30 years. Part of my practice is treating the very elite. So I've worked with world champions from every major professional sport. By the way, I've also seen the other end of the spectrum and have been helpful to many of those people as well. And I've also taught seminars around the world on over 6 different continents, over 10,000 hours of license renewal seminars. So the technology I'm going to talk to you about is called NeuroTracker, and you can go to this YouTube video, the TEDx Montreal, Dr. Jocelyn Faubert, explaining the NeuroTracker in TED Talk form. That's about 18 minutes worth of data, but I'm going to share some studies. So this was 3D multiple object tracking boosts working memory span, and that was in the military population. And here's what it said. NeuroTracker training resulted in significant gains in verbal, visual, and matrix span, or the ability to understand space orientation. Another study, this was from Psychology of Sport and Exercise. 3D multiple object tracking training task improves passing decision accuracy in soccer players. And in fact, that's where it really started, was Manchester United soccer team. Now, this one's important because it NeuroTracker performance matches the hydration status of the athlete. And as athletes become dehydrated, something that happens is their mental capacity begins to decline. The brain is the most hydrated organ in human physiology and therefore most vulnerable to the effects of dehydration. So in this study, they said that the results suggest that the use of NeuroTracker for training cognitive processes is valid for cognitive rehabilitation programs in the elderly. And again, we share the PubMed. So if you want to actually look up the study, you can do that. Now we're going to change gears a little bit. Multiple object tracking, the NeuroTracker may aid to better prepare healthcare professionals for the complex cognitive demands of surgery. I found that to be a very fascinating study there. So even our health professionals are benefiting. And then finally, what about children? NeuroTracker showed significant improvements in attention and response control. And these were for kids that were attention challenged. So this happened to be a study about the NeuroTracker and working on helping people with brain addiction. And there's certainly some benefit for that population as well. Again, it can monitor concussion recovery in professional athletes. That's a very significant aspect of sports these days. They get a baseline, and then after a concussion, they're going to want them to be able to return to at least that baseline capacity. Now for a nutrition intervention. This is a PubMed study. Ganoderma decreases the inflammation, swelling, and neuron degeneration after a head and brain trauma. NeuroTracker helps monitor the recovery of pediatric brain injuries. So again, that population. Ganoderma can be quite good for a number of things, including seizures. So that happened to be a young patient that had that challenge. By the way, we have a records release authorization to share that. How about this? NeuroTracker for training cognitive processes is valid again for cognitive rehabilitation. That one's a repeat, but probably worth repeating. And Ganoderma, our adjunct to that. Ganoderma spores can prevent Alzheimer's and Parkinson's, and they can dissolve brain plaque and improve circulation in the Alzheimer's brains. So this happened to be a picture that I captured from the internet of a brain that had amyloid plaque. This was an animal study where they caused trauma to, I believe, a rat brain. One group of rats didn't get any treatment at all. That was their plaque at 21 days. The other group received treatment for 21 days and much better there. And a summary slide. Ganoderma for brain health. It helps serotonin, GABA, acetylcholine, and dopamine. Those are the PubMeds related to that. It actually can induce neural stem cells, prevent Parkinson's and Alzheimer's, and is even anti-seizure. So we'll wrap it up with that. And as always, I'm Dr. Bob Rakowski, absolutely knowing that we can all be happy, healthy, and successful.